Okay, one world down and another couple to go. Are you ready? I'm ready. Now, there are a couple of things I must point out. One of the big things to point out is every time you come back to a world, if there are enemies in it, those enemies will respawn. And in this one's case, instead of dropping gems, they'll be dropping these little silver orbs. As you can tell, every time we pick up one of those silver orbs, a little star thing, or a little dot, will circle around the emblem of Spyro for his life. If you manage to fill that entire circle, you will get Spyro of an extra life. It's pretty useful because there are certain platforming challenges that might get you killed here. And certain annoying enemies later on that are very difficult to beat, or just difficult to beat without getting killed, you know? Alright, we took out Town Square. Next up is Stone Hill, which was where we shot the beginning scene where Nasty Nork turned everyone into statues. Apparently all the Norks moved the statues, so when you come over here, they're all in different areas. But I digress. It's not bad. Unlike Town Square, which was more or less, like, streamlined, Stone Hill is a little bit more of an open, explorative version of, like, a level. So, when you'll see it, there are a lot of areas you have to run in through to get some gems or to find a dragon. Also, there are giant goats that are running around here, or rams, or whatever the hell we call them. Either way, they're here to hurt you and hinder your chances at competing for victory. I think I missed that gem. Yes, I did. Usually, there are going to be about 3 or 4 levels per world you go to, and there are 5 worlds in total if you don't count Nasty Nork's Realm. I mean, you could count Nork's Realm, but I guess that's the final world, sort of like Bowser Land. The Artisan's World is obviously first, then Peacekeepers, Magic Crafters, Beastmakers, and Dreamweavers. If you want, you could literally just run to this room, take out the rams that are blocking the path, hit this dragon, and go home if you want. But as you guys know, I'm going to try to do this game to the best of my abilities to complete it, but whatever. Whatever.
After you've freed all the dragons, pass through this fancy vortex thingamajigger. It'll take you back to the artisan home. But first, let me tell you a story.
No thanks. See ya!
I do like the fact that they included, that they changed the voices over for Spyro, so he's no longer just that one originally nasally guy that voiced Spyro. It's always Tom Kenny now. In case you don't know, Tom Kenny is the voice of SpongeBob SquarePants, but I digress. Alright, we only have 25% of Stone Hill done, so we've got a long way to go. But again, I digress. Let's get ourselves this key. Every so often you'll come across a key that leads to a treasure chest. Oh, also, before I forget, you can jump in the water, and every time that you get hit, Sparks' color will change. Blue is after taking 1 hit, green after taking another, and he disappears after the 3rd hit. And then the 4th hit, you die. If you need to replenish it, as usual, burn the sheep or chickens or whatever the hell the animal is in that general vicinity for you to max out your health. Generally, it'll be sheep, because apparently How to Train Your Dragon borrowed a lot from Spyro, and dragons apparently like to eat sheep. I mean, it makes sense. They're bigger and easier to eat and maneuver than a lot of other animals in the animal kingdom, but I digress.
When you free a dragon or step on one of their platforms, you're saving your progress. That could be useful if you run into trouble. Not that you ever run into trouble, Spyro.
You never know, I could run into trouble. But I digress. Again. there are large areas here in Stone Hill that you have to travel through, including this area over here, which has even more rams. And these old guys with giant sticks. They are buttheads. Set them on fire. You can set the rams on fire too if you want, but I see no reason to. You can just charge them just as easily. But certain enemies do require flames. Some enemies require charging, so keep that in mind whenever you're traveling to take on opponents throughout the Spyroverse. Into the Spyroverse. I would say, why hasn't there been a Spyro the Dragon movie yet? But when you see the original games, from Nasty Nork to Ripto to the Sorceress in the third one, you can understand why. There really wasn't that much, like, story put into this game. It's sort of like just your generic platformer. Which, again, I'm not saying anything against that, because I love these stories. Just set up the objective and do that. Not every game has to be Uncharted or Halo or Kingdom Hearts, where the stories are either ridiculously convoluted or every character has a friggin' motivation. All we really need is to just save a bunch of dragons from Nasty Nork. Pretty straightforward.
Spyro, my friend, how about a hint on gliding?
You bet.
For the longest glide, press the jump button at the top of your jump, and try pressing the action button to drop down mid-flight.
What is with the accessories they've given these dragons? Meat cleavers, birthday cakes, friggin' a giant paintbrush? Oh, there's a force field. Can't go that way. Basically, throughout certain areas in the world, they will leave these friggin' force fields there, so you can't really go beyond that point. And that's fine with me. It doesn't want you to explore too much. Alright, now there should be a pink... Oh, nope, never mind, I'll hold off on that. Gotta get the thief, gotta get the thief, gotta get the egg, gotta get the egg! Get back here! I want the egg! I want the egg! There we go. Thank you. That's 2 eggs down. I gotta make sure I don't miss any gems, because I don't want to run around Stone Hill forever. Now, there should be a pink flower somewhere around here. Pink flower. Pink flower. There you are. And there's a skill point. I'll be doing as many of the skill points as I can figure out, but granted, some of them are just... Some of them, even for a seasoned Spyro veteran like me, are a little difficult to find, so... Don't be expecting me to get all of them. I'll probably get most of them, though. Alright, let's see... Sure we get all the gems over here. I usually end up missing like 1 or 2 gems. Not like I don't leave the world without them unless I like literally cannot find a trace of it. But I usually do end up like missing like 1 or 2 obvious gems because I'm not paying attention. Oh cool, we got enough butterflies to get an extra life. Goodness. Thank God this game's so easy to control, other than like Rugrats. I don't know what the hell I'd do. If I sneeze, if I sneezed in Rugrats, I'd probably die. Oh, hello. 87. Go around the perimeter one more time, so make sure I don't miss anything. Nope, that's not it. Do we have one over? No. Wow, wait a minute, I thought I saw one. Did I see one? Nope, that's another friggin' pillar thing. Okay, maybe we're done over here? I know the last area is where we still have to get that, use that key, but whatever. Fall down into the wishing well, if you wish. Haha, terrible fun, I know. Let's use the key. Get ourselves our last 10 gems, and then get the last dragon in here.
Watch the dragonfly, Spyro. His color indicates his power. When he eats butterflies, he stays strong. Like me.
Sure.
Okay. I will never understand what is up with these dragons. That one was drinking tea. Oh my lord. Okay, we're done in Stone Hill, so I see no reason why we can't just keep going. Now remember, when you fly out of Stone Hill, you're gonna end up in right by those Norks again, so you're probably gonna end up having to fight the Norks. Well, not fight them. If you want to, you can fight them. You don't have to fight them. It just makes more sense to me if you have to. Oh, there they go. Now, there is one last thing I want to show you guys before we take off into... Oh, there you are. Before we take off into the last major area, there is one thing I want to show you guys. There is a secret in the Artisan's world that I would like to show you guys. Well, it's not a secret. You kind of have to do it if you want to get all the gems, but I digress. What you have to do is when you come over here to the water side, touch each of these pillars, on each of these platforms. 4 and 5. There's no particular order you have to do them in, just make sure you touch them all, and you unlock the first of the flight courses, Sunny Flight. Flight courses are basically knocking out specific targets and collecting gems if you manage to do them all. There are usually 4 to 5 different levels of targets, so feel free to do that if you want to get some extra flying in, or more specifically if you want to 100% this game. There's only one level here left other than the final boss and the flight level left, so I say we take it on. Now, unlike Mario, you do not have to come back to these levels when you're done with them to get more dragons or more eggs. Only ones that you missed, which is actually, I think, a benefit in comparison to Mario. Whereas you don't have to just keep coming back to Bob on Battlefield to get stars, or to Rico Harbor to get stars. You could just keep coming back to this world once, only if you missed anything. Now this is where the Norks start to get bad. They'll start to actually start attacking you and doing some decent damage to you. You gotta be a little careful in this one. But this is another short world, sort of like Town Square, so if you're worried about getting lost or anything... Alright, that's one with the key. If you're worried about getting lost or anything, don't. Those big guys, as you'll hear later from one of the dragons, who tells us a little too late, can only be taken out by fire, and the guys with the steel can only be... the armor, sorry, can only be taken out with charges, but...
I wasn't sure.
You probably noticed that.
Annoying little creatures. Of course they wouldn't bother me, but here's a hint. Their metal armor is fireproof, but a charge attack will take care of them.
Or this guy could just blurt it out and make me waste my time. I forgot he said that. Oh well. I believe there are only 100 gems in total here again, so... Oh, damn it. He just hit me with a chicken bone. That was mean. That was very mean. I need the frog dead. Thank you. Now, you don't get a skill point for lighting the fire here. It just makes it a little bit easier for you to see things because it's a little bit darker around here than it was in the original game. Burn that guy. Get this. Get that. Yeah, I think there are only 100 gems in this one and only like 2 or 3 dragons in total. So this is a very short one, and I do love the ambiance and the music here, so I'm going to be a little quiet for a minute or so to let you guys hear the majesty of this, you know. After the dragon, of course, because he's going to open up his mouth and no doubt say something useless.
Big enemies like this Nork with the club cannot be charged, but a quick flame, that should defeat them.
Thank you for that, and thank you for proving my point. But I'm going to let you guys listen to this music, because honestly, if there's one thing the Spyro games did remarkably well, it would be with the music. So, take it away, music! And believe me, the themes just keep getting better from here, so... Oh, man. Alright, these big guys, you can only take them out from burning their asses. And that guy doesn't turn as early as I thought he did. That's weird. Oh, well. I think they changed that. But I don't mind. It makes my job easier, and it makes your job easier. Means we're going to be doing less shenanigans as we go. And now this guy has a turban.
Secret? Use the action button when you want to zoom in and look around.
Oh, your secret's safe with me.
But whatever. You're going to hear me say that a lot, apparently, with all these friggin' changes that they made, you know? One guy has a giant paintbrush, one has a friggin' meat cleaver. I'm never going to get over that meat cleaver, I'm telling you. I think that was everything. So now, all we have to do is make our way back up to the tippy-tip top, get ourselves those last gems, and we can call this another completed world. All that'll leave us is the flight mission and the boss of the artisan world. I love that, you know. But you should know that about me by now. I love it. I love it when a game is working to make me happy. Yeah! And I screwed up the flight. Oh well. We'll go around the old-fashioned way and charge our way back home. Again. Why? Because we can, of course.